Mike, can I comment on you? I did right before I got my real estate license. I made it a point to use no social media. It was like 3 months before I got my real estate license because I was on the internet. And I was like, you know what? And I was getting, sometimes you get tired of Facebook. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to use it until I get. And I did that. So I did use your strategy. No internet, no Facebook.
There's actually a tear in her eye right now.
It is.
Aw.
That's gonna hurt me. But I need to get off of it. Business only.
Business
and-
only.
And put it down.
Okay.
I'm only gonna cry.
Come to
But
mama.
you still have to be able, but you still have to be able to get their business, right?
Yeah, but
Like,
that's it though. I can
Yeah.
spend hours on all of them, flipping
Gotcha.
through. Even if I'm looking at other people doing business, but it's not helping my
It's
business
not helping
to
your
watch their
business.
business.
Yeah.
So
Posting and
Yeah.
commenting on your post, responding to
Yeah.
comments on your post. That's all
and
you get.
sign right back on.
Yeah.
That's
All
what
right.
hurt.
I make that.
Full disclosure, it is Starbucks, okay, just so you know, because I have some appointments that are at coffee places, but they're like Journeys and a place downtown, and I'm trying to build that type of way. So if you see anything on social media that I'm doing, because I'm gonna post it, because obviously I'm trying to promote myself and blah, 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 but it's Starbucks going to the office, because that's my life, because I be running late, so yeah. So I just want to claim that, because I want nobody on social media be like, oh, you didn't do. So just, I have to run my business somewhere with coffee.
Just remember that we do have conference rooms in the office.
Yeah, but these people are in Fairfield.
There is an office in Fairfield with a conference room.
Yeah, it's not that type of appointment, but I will look into that,
All right.
Got her on the spot. She's like,
because
no.
I don't go to those types of places because it's not quick. It doesn't have a drive-through. So that's
Okay.
the problem with Starbucks.
Okay.
Make it so convenient.
Mhm. All right.
All right. So you guys let me know what you want to put on the board
How long is this?
until
Your
your next
first-
closing.
No,
You gotta
to my
get-
next close.
Yeah.
That's
So, but I
easy.
can't, I'm not gonna count the one I'm working with now.
No.
So not my mobile home
No, and you
buyer.
could say, are you already in contract with your mobile home buyer?
No, we're waiting on her to be approved from the park.
Okay.
Mhm.
All right. So yeah, don't count your mobile home buyer, Mila,
Okay.
because that seems like it's a pretty solid deal, unless she
Okay.
doesn't get approved for this part.
Uh-huh.
And then the next one you can count, and you can decide, you can let me know whether you want it to be until it closes. Nate's was just closing because we need to get him some funds coming in to
Mhm.
feed a Starbucks habit,
Mhm.
or whether you want it to be under contract. I'm good either way.
Mhm.
Okay, so you think about that.
I can throw mine in. I actually have two that's on a sticky note on my desk already, but I'll give you one. So one of mine is to get my hair done because I haven't gotten done in months and it's growing long and I can't stand it. So I'm trying to get something sold so I can deserve my hair appointment, my next hair appointment. In the meantime, I've been trimming my bangs myself, which is
Good job. Good job.
but it works.
Oh, and Amy, I was
I
just
got
referring.
one.
Oh, wait,
Oh,
hold
go
on.
girl, go.
Melissa was saying something.
No, I was just saying, the reason why those, I just have 2 appointments this week and Wednesday that were already in stone. I'm not gonna cancel, but
That's
going
fine.
forth.
I'm good.
Yeah, that's
Right.
what I meant, sorry.
Was that Sam? Go Sam.
Mine are my nails, and honestly, I told myself I'm not getting them done until I close something.
Oh,
That'll be a good one for you.
what did he say?
Say, don't be hiding those hands. You got, you know you got
That'll be a good
nails
one for
too.
you, because you're very frugal, you're very disciplined. That would be a good one for you.
Oh yeah, use my nail.
That means you gotta hold on to
Ooh,
this.
it just got real.
You got
Oh,
real.
look at her
Yeah,
face.
you gotta hold on to
Look at
that.
her. Look at that, Nate.
I
Like
feel
it's Nate.
terrible now. Don't. This is Amy's idea. Not mine. I'm just following along.
Amy, we lost your camera.
Oh
I'm
no,
gonna
so
take myself.
sad. My camera likes to vanish every once
That's
in
a
a while.
good one. That's a
Yeah.
good one.
That's a good
You know,
one.
people aren't gonna log on soon, having to give up all this stuff. No, I'm just kidding.
And you'll be calling me, like, I need to call somebody right now.
Really, right?
Yeah.
Motivation. I'm proud of you guys. Proud of you guys.
Thank you. It's a big one
We're
for
taking
me.
a step. We're in this together, Mila. We in it together.
All right. If anybody else comes up with one, let me know. It doesn't have to be on the call today. You can text me and I'll add you to the board later. We can add you next week. So just think about it.
I won't do
Um,
nothing for myself. That's my problem.
What?
I need to do something for myself.
I got one.
Force myself
Okay.
I
to
got
do
one
it.
for her though, but I
Okay.
know she's gonna be mad at me.
Oh,
Only positive affirmations about you and your business until you close contract.
that's forever.
Positive affirmation.
Yeah.
Yeah, but because she
yeah.
talks bad about like she doesn't give herself
Okay.
enough credit.
Yeah.
Only positive affirmations.
She has to do 5 positive affirmations every day.
I already do that. I already
Oh.
read 20 of them in my
You
room.
do 20
Yeah.
of them in
Well,
your.
then
But
how
you
do you
post-
On
then,
my wall in my bathroom. I'll send you a picture.
then
Do you
then-
share them with
then
the
why are you not
world? Do you post
applying?
them with the world? Let everybody know where
Oh,
I don't go on, you know me, I'm not on.
you're not on social media.
I mean, I am, but I don't. I'm like 3 weeks gone and then, let me post something for my business.
maybe that'll be a good one.
Okay,
Every day you
got
have
it.
to do a
Okay.
video
Heather
saying a
has-
positive affirmation.
Maybe it's the
Heather-
opposite.
That
Make
makes
her-
me seem really negative. That's sad.
No,
Heather-
no, I'm not saying that,
I
but you
know.
don't give yourself enough grace.
We're trying to find an area of improvement for you. So it's
Yeah.
not degrading. It's just
Right.
like, what can we improve or what can we do different?
If you post a positive affirmation about yourself on social media every day,
Mm.
then I can guarantee you that you will get responses to it that will
Mm.
help you along your journey.
I agree.
What am I gonna say?
Okay, so
Your positive affirmation, you said you read 20 of them.
I thought you meant say something positive about myself. Like,
yeah.
yeah.
Well, you could apply yourself.
What is give me one of the positive affirmations that you said today.
I say like today is gonna be a good day, or I'm gonna be positive all day today. I'm gonna acknowledge myself as good.
Okay, so
Okay.
so
There
Heather's
you
gonna
go.
post
Yeah.
one
Great. Now if I don't post, I'm gonna put that on my calendar.
positive
Good,
affirmation.
good, that's excellent.
Amy, is there a reason why we're staring at your ceiling?
I know, right?
Well, yeah.
Oh, because
Oh,
it's
now
switched
it's,
camera.
oh,
Oh.
now-
You're gone again.
I'll fix it in a second.
Well, I guess we're gonna stare at the ceiling.
There
Yeah.
she is.
Thanks, Heather.
I don't know why it hates me.
It went off like the room camera.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's not working?
Apparently it's decided that it's
Oh,
not
it's
wanting
on your laptop.
not wanting to participate today.
And I
Yeah.
just want you guys to know how real this is. I just texted my husband and my dad, okay? And my dad's like the biggest culprit. He brings me unexpectedly, and I told him I cannot have it until I have a closing.
Good
So,
girl.
Nice.
That's how serious, like,
Good job.
serious.
All right.
Thanks, Nate.
All right. So on that note, what are our ahas from family reunion? What did you guys think of the experience? What did you learn from it? What do you have feedback of things that you wish
I
would have
like
worked?
David Green.
What did David Green do?
He's from Northern California. He's right in this area. He's a retired police officer and he is just motivating. I don't know if you guys got a chance to hear David Green speak. Because it surprised me because he's from this area. And I'm like, I wonder, why we don't see him. Maybe he's is there another Keller Williams up north, further north from
Oh,
here?
yeah. So our office is here in Green Valley and we have one in Winters. There is in the Bay Area, you've got a Concord office, a Walnut Creek office, Oakland and San Francisco. As you go up into the Sacramento area, there is West Sac at Sac Metro. So, and there's Roseville, there's Elk
I
Grove,
just
there's
assumed I didn't see
Folsom.
him.
Hills.
Okay, so that's why
Yeah.
could be anywhere.
Nate,
I've never seen him.
Nate, you should listen to his podcast, Bigger Pockets.
Bigger
So,
pockets from-
I started listening to Bigger Pockets probably back in 2017 or 2018, but it's all about real estate investment because that's kind of his niche.
That's why I like it. I want to.
So when I saw him also, since you brought him up, when I saw him at family reunion, I was like, oh my gosh, it's David Green. I was really excited to hear from him. He's a very smart guy. Podcast. You know,
Yeah, okay.
it's
Nate, did you order his book too?
No, I did not. Look,
Ooh, Amazon had it, I think, for like $10.
okay.
so he actually he didn't start Bigger Pockets, but he kind of took it over because the original person who started it kind of took a step back. But it's funny because Jay Papasan was kind of interviewing that panel that he was on, and he's actually been on his podcast. Jay Papasan, he's been on that Bigger Pockets podcast, like vice versa. They, switch roles. So David Green's had Jay Papasan on his podcast before, him and Mindy. Anyway,
He's a smart dude. He definitely he had some good gems.
What was one of the good gems?
Well, should have wrote most of it down. I didn't take notes on him like I should have. But I just remember just the way his approach to some of the clients. He had a real strategic way of dealing with people. I can't remember any of it. It was just a blur. It was good.
Okay.
I can add one thing that I caught that he said.
I'm
He said he
sorry.
was talking about, one thing that I caught that he had said was, agents are supposed to be a guide. They're supposed to explain the menu. So we're supposed to add value and educate our client. And he also talked about how investing in real estate, if you do get into that work, it strengthens an agent's confidence with educate them. So that's what he said from his experience.
Absolutely right. Now that you said that, you're absolutely right. I do remember him saying that.
Is he the one who said indecision? The definition of indecision was when we choose future hostage because we don't move in the present. We choose to hold the future hostage because we don't move in the present. Did he say that, Tar?
I'm not sure. I didn't write that one down,
Oh.
but maybe he might have. I don't know. Sorry.
Now that you kind of reminded me, one of his key points was educating your clients, like telling the clients there's a difference between, I forget what his scenario was, like a steak and a ribeye, or he was saying educate them because they need to know the difference, and educate them will, bring them closer to you, build that relationship.
Mhm.
So I do remember him kind of that little piece, like really educate the clients.
What other ahas?
Did anybody want to say something on the screen?
Go
Okay,
ahead.
I'll take the floor. I don't even want to be green.
Milo second, I will
but-
take the remaining 27 minutes.
I had a few. So, I struggle with doing my DTD too.
Okay.
Right? Because I always feel like my people know my business. So how do I talk to them? So the verbiage, script practice, which I do then. But anyway, this one really resonated with me. If there's one person you think I should know who needs real estate information, who would that be? That was just easier for me to flow with. It didn't feel script for one. And it just was an easy flow. So I really like that.
Say it again.
If there's one person you think I should know who needs real estate information, who would that be? So when you do your
You know, and
calls-
also it's not giving them an out.
That is true,
Right?
Because it definitely asks them a question that
Yeah,
needs an answer.
That needs an answer. I like that.
What were you gonna say, Nate?
No, I was just going over, man, because I remember somebody saying that you got that for one of the leadership, because I did attend some of the leadership courses too.
Oh, I just did solo agent
Okay.
on all of them. But however, we could have been in the same one.
Mila, can you say that one more time, please?
Yes, if there's one person you think I should know who needs real estate information, who would that be?
Thank you.
And then I liked how Gary said, never be too proud to sit on the back row. I thought that was just, because sometimes when you're making money and then you think like, you have an arrogance about you, never be too proud to sit on the back row. I thought that was great too. I'll let someone else
That's
talk, but
good.
I still have pages. enough.
That's good.
Who else?
On the win-win on Sunday, who watched that?
I did the win-win. It was buffering a little bit. I watched it.
Yeah, that one was good. I liked it when he said, if you have the husband and wife, and like my son and his wife, he wants one thing, she wants another. So he said, have each person write down the top 3 things. And then they swap the papers. And then he sees what she wants and she sees what, vice versa. And then they kind of concentrate on the top 3 things on the list that they both come to agreement on.
Yeah, it was like the husband gets, you ask the husband, write 3 things that he really like, 3 things that the wife really likes, and then let them exchange those papers and discuss it, and then come back to the table and see what the top three
yeah.
parties like. I do. That was a good one too. Kind of find out what the.
I wish they would have had things recorded because there was other ones that I really wanted to listen on.
So,
And
so most of them will be recorded with the exception of there was like 1 or 2 per session that were not recorded, that were on site only, but the rest of them the recordings will get posted in the next couple of weeks.
Will we only
And-
be able to access what we signed into that group or everything? We can-
Everything.
Ooh.
and then how do you find them? Is it going to be under the downloads or?
Yeah, it's usually under the same platform. And then usually when you go to click on it, it'll have the recording. So if you go to that session, it'll have the recording posted.
I thought another good thing for us new agents, because we can, when we talk to people and they like give us the notion that they want to work with a more seasoned agent and be humble and fail forward. They said real estate in 2022 hasn't happened yet. We're building it together.
Yeah.
So that was excellent for like, we don't know what 2022 brings. So you're learning and I'm learning, so we can kind of, go at it
Together.
I thought that was awesome.
I really liked, so I attended the, one of the ones that was building a $25 million sphere-based business.
Mhm.
And one of the things they talked about was doing that like micro events. So if you're a newer
Yes.
agent, you don't have a lot of funds, like you don't have to go do big events and
Uh-huh.
none of them have to be super costly, but just doing like small events with just a few people. I thought
Mhm.
that was a good, like, hey, just call somebody up and like invite them to go. And I was like, I'll invite them to like bring somebody, like host a game night or do a whatever, like do something fun and make it a potluck style. Like everybody
Mhm.
brings something just so you're interacting and meeting people, hanging
Yeah.
out.
Yeah, I thought I was in that one too. So when he said that he went to the beer pub and invited people to come out and he worked with the owner so he can like get a section and he would just invite people to come out for free. They're buying their own beer and he's just giving them buyer's information. I thought that was really good.
I guess it would make sense to do it as a group too, though, huh? Like, do you guys ever like do like a group event like that is office ran or whatever, but we all bring our clients, just kind of a meet and greet?
Yeah, so we've
But-
done a few things like the Green Valley grand opening. Everybody was invited to bring people to the trunk or treat that DPC put on. But occasionally we do like office
A
events.
couple of events a year.
Yeah, that you can invite people to.
Mhm.
I'd like to see doing more, like, it'd be nice, like, to do for the holidays, like, just set up a photo booth and invite your
That's what they
clients to
talk
come by and
about.
take photos.
That's an
talk about.
excellent
Yeah.
idea. Why not have Santa? You
Yeah.
can get 2 things done at once.
Right,
with
like,
your kids.
and it just gives, like, if we had it planned out on the calendar ahead of time and you're like, hey, here's our photo booth for this month and here's next month, and it'll be set up for a week or whatever, like
Mhm.
swing by, take photos,
Mhm.
whatever that might be. Like, it could just be like a fun thing to do.
Mhm. That's a great
Was that
idea.
in,
That's to help me get my
all
son's
who
photo
you know?
booth
Maybe
business
I should
moving
do it for
too.
Easter,
Mhm.
do an
That's
Easter
good.
one. where-
Yeah, because I think it was this Sunday on my notes, all who you know, the one about your sphere. They were
Mhm.
talking a lot about,
Sorry.
they were talking a lot about stuff like that, which I really liked. Like the girls started talking about, which I know I know when we sit in there on Mondays and James like, why'd you delete somebody? But this girl made a really good point, like each year she does a dump. she goes through her command and she does a dump, and and then they were like, well, wait, whoa, wait, how do you do that? You know, and she was like, because I check who opens my emails, who's never given me a referral, who doesn't answer my calls, and she's like, and I dump them. She's like, it's not worth my time. I'd rather have a smaller database of 500 instead of 2,500, and I'm not touching those 2,000, those main 500 who are giving me the time of day. And so that was pretty, you know, convicting, because I know for me, I got on like, oh, I gotta keep adding people, and then I'm like, I haven't even called anybody in weeks. Like, what is the purpose of this? This is running ragged, you know. So I think that was good. And then another guy talked about how to building connections. And he was saying like every year he does a movie night the same month every year. He does a wine event, he does Christmas pictures, he does food trucks. He just puts all, it says, hey, we're gonna have a food truck event because their city doesn't have a food truck. He had all, I mean, I just kept writing them over here too, like tons of them, tons of different things that you can do, you know, like to keep on people's minds, you know, like the moving boxes and the tape and the Sharpies, like you had mentioned, and then like the pop buys and seminars and paint parties, housewarming parties for your clients.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Really good. I was like, dang.
At their houses though.
Mhm.
Agent do it at the house.
Yeah, at their house, but they're just like, hey, I'm gonna throw you a housewarming party. Give me your guest list. And then he's like, you're the agent who's pouring the drinks for everybody, clean. You know, he's like, you're the server basically of the night. You know, so
That would be a situation where he doing it for the client that he just sold the house to them.
But
because
he-
then
all
you're
their
meeting their
friends.
sphere.
All their friends.
And you're not necessarily soliciting their business because they already know you're the realtor, but they see how hands-on you are. I thought that was great. And then I was kicking myself in the butt because my client who I closed on in December, her housewarming is next Sunday. But I couldn't afford it anyway, but
What do you
Well,
mean
just
you couldn't
go.
afford it?
I'm going.
Got you.
Just because, you know, I'm a single parent, so I couldn't afford to do a housewarming right now.
I don't, but it's her housewarming. I don't get it. What do you
Yeah,
mean?
but so you would be putting it on.
Yeah, you pay
Gotcha.
for everything. You organize it
Got
and you pay for it.
Keep in mind too, as you start talking about these events and activities and hosting housewarmings, like pair up with who did you use for the NHD and who did you use for the home warranty? Like that's a great opportunity for the
lender.
home warranty to kick in a little bit and help sponsor it as well. So you don't have to foot the bill 100% yourself. You can get people to help you, the lender, the home warranty, right? Because now they're getting exposure to those people as well as a
I didn't
sponsor.
even think about
And
that.
Lisa's good. She does the Solano Association. She's ahead of all the events. So I'm gonna call her out. She might be a good person to use.
Yeah, and she's very thorough with the
Keep-
home warranty.
Keep in mind too that home warranties, they're all very similar, and it is all about the rep, right? So it's about
Mhm.
having that relationship with Lisa or Joanna or whoever, so that when your client has a problem and they are like call it in and they're like, sorry, we're not going to help you, that you've got somebody to call that can help push it through. Like that's the goal. So having that relationship with Lisa, whoever is really going to help move it forward. Home warranties themselves are very similar. It's who you know.
I know
that
she would
gets
love
it
to do
covered.
something. She likes that. She loves those events.
But yeah, that's what I really like that class the best, because I felt like for me, that's what I'm that type of person. Like I want to do things. I want to do the parties. Before the pandemic, I had stuff all year, all the time. Like, and so that's how people always said to me. And that's what clicked when I was listening to this.
Yeah.
Was they were like people used to say like, Heather, she has parties for everything. Like and I'd have like my kids' birthday parties. There'd be like almost 100 people at my house. Like, and I lived in little houses, you know, and it's like they're outside in the driveway, you know, down the sidewalk, but it's like everybody was there.
Yeah.
And so I was like, I can do these things, and totally, I just need to get it out there.
You know what was another good one? Sorry to cut you off. If you're not moving forward, you're probably afraid.
The binary, the what you call it, the binary real estate is what he said. I wrote it down. It's binary. You're either going forward or you're going backwards.
And so it said write the fear down and how to tackle it. I thought that was great.
That's good.
If I could say one more thing though, for your career.
You would like.
Aw.
You do everything.
Girl, you know, you have me so, I said, I can really stump her when I get,
See, you're
get to
like
the
me.
office.
You don't take the credit. Put her name by my name.
You're just supposed to say thank you, Myla. You gotta work on saying thank you.
I told her thank you earlier
And then you
today.
gotta end there.
And I did though, on the thing, but I was biting my lip. I said, ooh. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, that's okay. That's okay. It was something else, on like how we should go about. Okay, I'll let somebody else talk while I find it.
Well, while you're thinking of it, there was a couple of things. So one of the things I liked, a couple of things that Gary said was, I don't remember the freaking plant's name, but I really liked his approach. Like I really missed all the connection of the people. Like, so, but I remembered the thing. He came in, he was trying to earn business with someone. I don't remember who she was to whatever thing, but she basically took his card and put it in the file garbage can basically. And he knew that he wasn't going to get a call. So he sent her a plant that was going to die without proper instructions of how to keep it alive. And basically said, if you want to know how to keep this plant alive, call me. And so she called him because of the plant. And then he came in, and gave because he was like, oh, I'm around the corner, you know, I'll bring you the instructions. So then came in again and, you know, gave her the thing. Well, then at that time there was whatever file was open, the work that he wanted. He was like, oh, I can do that. Like, and he landed this big, and then it trickled. It just kept trickling through all these different, he tied everything back to this plant. But I just like that approach. Like, you know, not so much as like, don't just count yourself out. Don't just, someone throws you to the, you know what I mean? And you just, oh, well, that never happened. You know what I mean? Like there's clever ways and to put yourself still out there to stand out. And that's what he did. He stood out. He made that impact. And so that was helpful just to stay like more creative, I guess. Another thing that he said that I really like just being a newer agent was know what you know and know what you don't know. And being upfront with that, like I might not know a lot of different things, but here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to find out that answer. I'm going, you know what I mean? Give that confidence to as we're building our careers, right? You know, and then we're going to know, but even seasoned agents hit things. They're like, I don't know, but they don't just be like, okay, well now I can't do this. You know what I mean? Transaction. No, they go find out the answer. You know what I mean? So it was just, I needed to hear that out loud. Like, you know, so that really was good. And then what was it? The other thing that I ended up hearing, what I liked was, you know, some people do, you know, they do a closing gift or they do, you know, like pay for the home warranty, different things like that. But one of the gentlemen on there, I think it was a guy, they do like through the process, like, so flowers when they open escrow and massage gift when they pass all the contingencies and champagne cups at the end, like that whole deal. So I really like that to put more of an imprint through the process, because I guess for this particular agent, like they would do like a closing gift and things like that, but they couldn't even get a review done afterwards. Like they wouldn't do anything for them, you know? So I really like that approach. Like, you know, if you're going to invest your dollars into something, what's the biggest thing you can do, the biggest imprint you can leave on those dollars being spent? And so I like that approach too. So, yeah.
I like that too. That was good, because I'm hitting them multiple times throughout the transaction instead of something at the end. When you're like, I mean, they did do something at the end, but it was kind of like work. Yeah, I wrote that all down too. I was like, that was good.
At one point, they was emphasizing doing buyer consultations and the importance of buyer consultation. And they were saying something to the effect like, you need to, and when you start calling the lender, basically you should do a group text with your lender and the buyer and whoever else is in part of the deal. And that would, I guess, make things go easier on everybody, pretty much, on the client as well as the lender. But group texting is something, or group calling or texting is something that I'm definitely probably looking to, you know, just to make things easier. I was thinking like that might have been easier for my scenario where I'm dealing with this client and I'm finding myself calling the client one day and then I ain't gonna call them the next day because I'm tired, but I'm calling them the next day and calling, going back and forth instead of having them both on the line.
Mhm,
That would have really been helpful for me.
mhm.
So I gotta figure out in my mind how I'm gonna, in the future going forward, how I'm gonna make that work.
Loop it all
Mhm.
together.
Yeah.
Or group
make- Just
email.
get, and get used to doing it, like create a strategy,
Yeah.
create a plan for
Yep.
how I'm gonna do that.
Mhm. The group email is good too. I was gonna say too, really everything to me went back to the MREA book. That's like.
Yeah.
Time block, lead gen. You see, I got my tail in here this morning and did some lead gen. Be transactional, sell everything. For us new agents, I think I am, let me speak for myself. And then it said no silver bullet, forward facing, connect with people to get clients. So like you need to find different groups.
Oh.
Sorry, Zeb's alarm's going off again. It's not Megan's favorite sound, and it was in the other room.
I know, you can tell on her face. That's hilarious. And then put yourself in groups. So I need to be a part of more groups so I can meet more people.
Just to add to, sorry. Myla, you mentioned time blocking. I feel like that was the biggest sell for me that I applied after.
Mhm.
I went right away and started applying it in my Google Calendar because, as a new agent, I got to learn this. I have to study and learn the forms and learn the techniques. And then I also have to handle, client. And then I also have my family. And then it's just, I was just approaching it like I'll get to the things as I have to get to them. And then I realized you run out of time for other things. So I started just time blocking, time for me, time for follow-up, time for prospecting. So that way I can focus in on it for that 1 hour, whatever time allotted it is. And then when that's up, I say, okay, I'm done with that activity. Let's focus on the next one. So I'm maximizing my time and kind of getting to all the things I need to. A lot of agents mention like time blocking is a must. You have to time block. And one said like she breaks it down to follow up, follow through, and follow back. Like she spends some time following up, updating clients on whatever they need to be updated on, following through, which is like they're acting on questions of clients, like following up with their lender, following up with a listing agent or whatever. And then following back, which is for clients that are kind of backing out, but you're continuing to stay in touch with them and provide them with, touches and reaching out. So, and then another one talked about how she breaks it down into ABC clients. So A's are like solid clients. B's are like, they're not as aggressive, but they kind of still are interested. And then C is they're not really serious. So so I kind of broke that down and trying to implement that into my time blocking.
It's the one of the things I've heard it before, but it really sunk in after this was your database is your data bank. And so like, I just like that really stuck in there. And so I'm just looking at every time I'm in there and I'm doing the tasks that are coming up and all those things, like that's money, that's potential money. That's just, you know what I mean? And granted, I want the money to hit higher soon. No, but still like, I know that while I'm doing that, like it's going to produce money at some point for me. So yeah, so definitely looking at it a whole different way.
Did anybody do the health one about how to avoid burnout and stay like connected or something? They had it wasn't so much about real estate, like I feel like it was in general, but it was really good because they said some things like people want to get hyped up about these types of classes. I know for my church we do this too. We have 2 events like this a year, which are huge, right? And we go for 3 days and do massive classes, and you come out and you're like, what did I forget? Like Nate was saying, I forgot everything, but it was so good. You have to go look at your notes and re-listen to other people's notes. But the one, I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but I remember I put a star next to it, and they said that these classes are only as good as the speakers if you're going, what you're going to do and change and grow later. Like, like we can't just listen to the classes and be like, oh, that was good information, but putting it into practice And then they had a series of questions that they asked, like, what am I doing that I shouldn't be doing? What am I ignoring in my life? And it was all about like bettering yourself and your health and your physical well-being and listening to your body. Because they said like people apologize for crying. Like they'll be like, oh, I'm sorry, I'm crying. And then he was like, your body speaks the truth. Like you needed that. Allow your body to go through those things and just examine like what are you trying to control that's uncontrollable. So there was like a lot of good little like nibbits, you know. Yeah. And then he was just saying like focus on learning and growing each week. Even if that's 1%, don't be negative on yourself if it's only 1% because you're moving forward, like you're growing and stuff. So it was a really good class. I was like, Morgan was listening to it with me and I was like, girl, we just need some scripture thrown up in here and we'll be good to go. Like it would have just been like a whole 2-hour sermon because they went heck of late. Mindy came to check. I think you asked, somebody else asked us and we're like, we're still here. It was supposed to be over 25 minutes ago and we're still going. So they were like, yeah, they were going. So, but it was really good just to help you to center and be like, man, okay, you know, like Mila was saying earlier for me, like I'm very hard on myself. I don't give myself any credit at all. Like I've always got to be doing more. Like if I'm, you know, yesterday, I mean, and I'm not saying this to brag at all. And but it's like yesterday at my client's house, we were doing the inspection and I'm literally picking weeds. Like I picked the hole and their weeds were like up to here and I have cuts now in my hands. And I was like, but I just felt I couldn't just stand there. And Kai's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm picking weeds. And she was like, you're really picking weeds. Like I went to the garage and got a tool and was picking weeds. And then she gave me, I still have brown in my fingers, but it's like, and then Kai did it. And then she posted me on, and I'm like, why'd you post me on social media? Don't do that, you know? And she's like, girl, this is your heart. This is who you are. Like, this is good. And so I was like, fine, I'm posting you back. So I posted her back, you know?
Nice.
But it's just like good, you know, to be like, man, you know. But it was good because it encouraged the clients and now she wants to get out there and she saw what a difference it made, you know, and so it's all around win-win, but and it was just good. So yeah.
So a little tidbit for all these ahas that you guys are having, right? And as you go back and rewatch other sessions and whatnot, is to take them all the things that you want to implement, like read through your notes and figure out what do you want to implement in your business and put them all on a list. And then look at that list and organize them by order of importance, right? So how we watch the session may not be the order of importance as we
keep talking.
Ooh. Oh, sorry.
Keep talking.
it should be fine. Anyways, don't worry about it, Heather. Don't worry about it.
It doesn't do anything right.
It's
She's in trouble.
I'm not saying
She's in trouble.
That was not an affirmation. You can do everything right.
They don't achieve their goal when they do go to Starbucks. What are you gonna do if I walk in here with a Starbucks?
If I
gonna
catch
kick
you
you
at
out.
I'm gonna slap it
Starbucks.
out your hand.
Oh, that's what I'm saying. So,
Ooh.
right.
That's what Amy said.
I said I'm gonna kick you out of PC.
Ooh, that's serious. Don't play with that. Don't play with that.
Right now.
She's like, you will not get the new link.
No way.
So take all those things, put them on a list, right? The things that you want to implement into your business, and then put them in order of importance. What is the most important to you with wanting to implement? And then let's just work through that list, like maybe one a week, maybe one every 3 days. And you just like, once you implement one and you've kind of got it going and you've mastered it, now we're going to move on to the next thing. And that way you don't get lost in your notes. You actually have it in like a to do in an order that's manageable and that you can filter through and stay on top